Hello. Welcome to part 2 of the claim submission training video series. This video will cover submitting institutional claims. In this first section, we will explore submitting a basic institutional claim. Log into the Electronic Verification System or EVS portal. If you need assistance with this step, please see Chapter 1 of the EVS User Manual on the Nevada Medicaid website at medicaid.nv.gov. From the My Home page, navigate to the Claims tab. Hovering over this tab will populate the subpages underneath. Clicking it, as shown in this example, will open up a page with links to all of those subpages. To submit an institutional claim, click the Submit Claim Inst link. Claim submission is a three-step process. In Step 1, you will provide information on the provider, patient, and claim in the corresponding panels. Use the Claim Type drop-down to indicate the type of institutional claim. In this example, inpatient is chosen. The billing provider information is automatically populated with the billing provider ID and ID type of the provider that the signed-in user is associated with. All of the fields marked with a red asterisk are required fields. Scroll to view more of Step 1. Select the appropriate provider type/service location for the type of service being billed. This field will already be populated with the primary service address of the provider associated with the logged-in user. The remaining information in the Provider Information section should be completed if it is applicable. Next, move to the Patient Information section to the Recipient ID field. Enter the 11-digit Recipient ID in the Recipient ID field. The last name, first name, and birth date will be automatically populated based on the Recipient ID that is entered. Then, continue to the Claim Information section. As a reminder, the fields marked with a red asterisk are required. The required information in this section depends on the type of institutional claim that is being created. Admission type, admission source, admitting diagnosis, and patient status are searchable. Enter the first 3 letters or numbers of the code to use the predictive search. For a basic institutional claim, do not check the Include Other Insurance box. The total charged amount is read-only and will display the total charge amount associated with the claim. After all of the required and applicable fields are complete in Step 1, click the Continue button. Step 2 of submitting a basic claim is where you will report diagnosis codes. When the Step 2 page appears, the provider, patient, and claim information from Step 1 is displayed at the top. All of the panels except for diagnosis codes are collapsed. Click the plus icons on each panel to open only that panel or click Expand All to open all the panels, as shown in this example. Scroll to view all of the newly expanded panels. Alternatively, click the minus icons on each panel to close only that panel or, as shown in this example, you may click the Collapse All link to close all of the panels. The first required panel in Section 2 is Diagnosis Codes. The first diagnosis entered is considered to be the principal or primary diagnosis code. The system will allow for up to 8 diagnosis codes. If you were following along with this video, click the plus icon on the Diagnosis Code panel to expand. Diagnosis codes are searchable. Click the appropriate field to begin. Enter the first 3 letters or numbers of the code to use the predictive search. Click the appropriate result to populate the field. Click the Add button to add each diagnosis code. The diagnosis code will now display in the next row of the panel. If you would like to make any changes to the information provided, click on the row number to the left. Click the Remove link to remove any diagnosis coded added to the claim in error. The remaining panels should be completed if there is applicable claim information. In this example, there are no external cause of injury diagnosis codes, so that panel will remain collapsed. If expanded, any field marked with a red asterisk is considered required. The next panel with information for this example claim is Condition Codes. Expand that specific panel by clicking the plus icon. This system allows for up to 24 condition codes. Condition codes are searchable by entering the first 3 letters or 2 numbers of the code to use the predictive search. Click the appropriate search result. Click the Add button to add each condition code. Similarly to other panels, the condition code information will display in the next row of the panel. Click the Remove link to remove any condition codes added to the claim in error. Next, if applicable, enter occurrence codes for the claim by expanding the panel, making the information marked with a red asterisk required. The system allows for up to 24 occurrence codes. As illustrated in previous panels, the occurrence code is also searchable. Once all of the required information is entered, click the Add button to add each occurrence code. In the same way previous panels function, the occurrence code information entered will display in the next row. Additionally, you may edit the information by clicking the row number to the left, or remove any occurrence codes added to the claim in error by clicking the Remove link in the Actions column to the right. The next section is Value Codes. It must be expanded to enter the required information. The portal allows for up to 24 value codes. Value codes are displayed as a decimal. The amount can either be a number, such as days in units, or a dollar amount depending on the value code entered. Once the required information is complete, click the Add button to display the information in the next row. This panel functions the same as previous panels covered to edit and remove information. In order to provide information in the next panel, Surgical Procedures, there must be an operating provider entered in Step 1. The portal allows for up to 24 surgical procedures. The first surgical procedure code entered is considered to be the principal surgical procedure code. After entering required information for this field, it functions the same as panels previously covered in this video. Once all required information is entered, click the Continue button to move on to Step 3 of submitting an institutional claim. Step 3 of submitting a basic claim will allow you to provide service details and attachments for the claim. When Step 3 is first displayed, not all of the panels are expanded. As shown in previous steps, select the Expand All or Collapse All links or click the plus and minus icons to expand or collapse only specific panels. Navigate to the Service Details panel. Up to 50 service details may be added to an institutional claim. Fields marked with a red asterisk are required. Revenue codes, HCPCS procedure codes, and modifiers are all searchable fields. Once you have completed the required and applicable information, click the Add button. Select the sequence number of any service detail line item to update details such as the service date, procedure code, units, or charge amount. Scroll to move to the last panel of the claim, Attachments. To include attachments electronically with a claim, click the plus icon and complete all of the required fields. Click the Add button as shown in previous panels. There is a 10 attachment maximum and the combined size of all attachments cannot exceed 4 megabytes. Click the Submit button to complete the claim creation process. After clicking the Submit button, the Confirm Institutional Claim page will display with the claim details to review before submission. Click the Cancel button to cancel the claim submission. Click the Print Preview button to print a copy of the ConRem Institutional Claim page. Click the Confirm button to submit the claim. The Submit Institutional Claim Confirmation page will appear after the claim has been submitted. It will display the claim status and claim ID. Should you need to complete any further tasks, choose the appropriate button at the bottom based on the description shown. This next section will illustrate any steps to submit an institutional crossover claim that differ from those in the previous section which showed how to submit a basic claim. Crossover claims are submitted when Medicare has made a payment on a claim or they have left a certain amount to patient responsibility, such as coinsurance, copay, or deductible. Claim submission is a 3-step process. In Step 1, you will provide information on the provider, patient, and claim in the corresponding panels. Click the Claim Type drop-down to change the claim type to crossover inpatient or crossover outpatient. In this example, crossover inpatient is selected. Scroll to the bottom of Step 1 to the Medicare Crossover Details panel. The Medicare Crossover Details panel will display when crossover inpatient or crossover outpatient is selected as the claim type. Use the Medicare explanation of benefits to complete the fields as applicable. There are no additional details required in Step 2 when submitting an institutional crossover claim. You will complete Step 2 of the claim submission process the same as basic claim submission. However, there are a couple things worth noting. The Medicare crossover details will appear at the top of Step 2 based on what was input in Step 1 of the crossover claim submission process. Value codes are not required, but should be entered situationally. Some frequently used value codes for a crossover institutional claim are as follows. Should you want to include Medicare as a coinsurance, expand the value code panel. The value code for this is 09. The dollar amount will be provided on your Medicare EOB. For value codes 80, covered days, and 81, non-covered days, enter the number of days in the amount section. There is no information for an institutional crossover claim that differs from a basic institutional submission for Step 3. However, it is worth noting, when Step 3 appears, the Medicare crossover details entered in Step 1 are once again displayed at the top of the page. The last section of this video will illustrate any steps to submit an institutional third-party liability or TPL claim that differ from those in the first section, which showed how to submit a basic claim. A TPL claim might be submitted if Medicare denies and did not issue payment. In that case, the claim must be submitted as other insurance or TPL. Claim submission is a three-step process. In Step 1, you will provide information on the provider, patient, and claim in the corresponding panels. Scroll to the bottom of Step 1. Click the Include Other Insurance box. Step 2 will allow you to provide other insurance details. Expand the Other Insurance Details panel by clicking the plus sign icon. Click the sequence number of any other insurance line item to update details such as the allowed amount, pay date, and adjustment codes for the specific other insurance carrier. Complete all of the required information, marked with a red asterisk. Make sure the Claim Adjustment Details panel is expanded and applicable information is provided. Click Add Adjustment to add the claim adjustment details to the Other Insurance Details line. Click the Remove link to remove any other insurance or claim adjustment details added to the claim in error. Choose Cancel Insurance to cancel any updates to the other insurance details. Click Save Insurance to save the information to the Other Insurance Details line. If you would like to indicate Medicare exhaust, please navigate to the Occurrence Code panel. Use Occurrence Code A3 and include the dates being billed. There is no additional information necessary as part of Step 3 when submitting an institutional TPL claim. Thank you for watching Part 2 of the Claim Submission video series. Should you need instructions on claim submission for a different provider type, please see the provider type listings under each part to determine which in this video series will be the most beneficial. This concludes this installment of the Claim Submission Training video series. For more information on any of the topics covered in this video or for further training opportunities, please visit our website at www.medicaid.nv.gov. Should you have any questions, please reach out to Nevada Provider Training at GainwellTechnologies.com.